Hello. Alrighty, so continuing on with the seemingly never-ending PS2 game overview, let's take a look today at eeny, meeny, miny, mo. These ones today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back, everyone. Today we take a look at horror games. Dun dun dun. Yeah, not a very huge horror collection at the moment. It's kind of like my DVD horror collection. Definitely needs to be fleshed out. Bloody, dripping, fleshed out. Is that the... Sorry, you're seeing the tripod there. Let me just do a minor adjustment. I can see the edge of my lap. Excellent. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it here. Okay, so first up, we have the one and only Resident Evil game that I currently own, which is Resident Evil Dead Aim. Now, this one was notable in that it was the first Resident Evil game that actually gave you a first-person aiming mode, and which was great. You can play this with a light gun as well, apparently, which I do not have. But, you know, while it made aiming easier and such, and a lot easier to get the enemies, it honestly made it too easy. Usually, traditionally, like I've played a lot of the Resident Evil games. I played the first 3 on the PS1, and I played Code Veronica X on the PS2, and yeah, and you know, I always found that they would be pretty, I don't know, fairly straightforward and easy for a while, and then they would just get to a point where they're just frickin' impossible. I've actually not finished most of the Resident Evil games. I played like a good chunk of them, like a good ways through them, but never actually managed to finish quite a few of them. So, Dead Aim, however, definitely bucks the trend, because I finished this one, I think, in a day, maybe 2 days. So yeah, it was not difficult at all. It's not bad. I mean, it's got an okay story and stuff, and it essentially takes place primarily in 2 locations. You're on a ship full of zombies, and then you're on a island base and such. And it's not bad, but it's very short and it's very easy. So, yeah, I don't know. Get it if you're a Resident Evil completist. But as you know, I'm not a huge fan of the Resident Evil games anyway. For me, the kind of scares that I really like are the kind of scares that the Silent Hill games deliver up. Oh, these are good. I still got the price tag on here. I got this for $14.99, and then got the, yeah. There's a few lurking around my collection that still have stickers on them. I gotta get those cleaned up. Now I have played the first Silent Hill most of the way through. I didn't actually finish that one either. I know, I'm terrible. Mainly because it wasn't mine. I just had it on loan from a friend, and just didn't have it long enough to finish it. So I got through a good chunk of it, and then sadly had to return it. But Silent Hill 2, I have played through a few times. I don't think I've really seen any of the alternate endings. I know there's multiple endings to almost all the Silent Hills, and honestly, it's been so long since I played it, I don't remember which ending I got. It's probably about time for a replay, actually. But I actually owned this a while ago, and then sold it, and then found it again because I really liked it and wanted to have it back in my collection. I've played demos of the 3rd and 4th ones. Beyond that, that's the extent of my personal experience with Silent Hill. Loved this one. Really loved this one a lot. Loved the first one. Really want to play the rest of them. There's a bunch of other ones. There's like Silent Hill Origins, and there's of course the new one, Silent Hill Homecoming, on the PS3, and yeah. But anyway, Silent Hill. The thing I love about Silent Hill, in terms of being horror, is they're just so damn creepy. I mean, they really get under your skin and just like freak you out. I mean, the creatures are really creepy, and the stories tend to be very heady and psychological. I mean, they have a lot of horror aspects to them, but you know, the things that are one of the things that's cool about them is you don't always have to kill all the enemies in an area. I mean, if you can avoid them, great. Just get to the next section. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you kill most of the enemies or not. They're just there to get in your way and make things difficult for you. So if you can avoid them, great. You're not penalized for that, really. I mean, it just carries on. But yeah, and the thing I love about it is that they're just so psychological. I mean, essentially, the world of Silent Hill, it's like a town that brings your most nightmarish thoughts to life. So in this case, it's a guy looking for his wife. His wife is dead, and he received a message from her after her death saying, come and meet me in Silent Hill. So he goes to Silent Hill to try to find her. He's like, what the hell's going on? I thought she was dead. Like, is she not dead or whatever? So so the way that, I guess, the way the town functions is it sort of taps into your innermost nightmarish thoughts and makes them manifest. So you have to deal with physical manifestations of your personal demons and things like that. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea, and obviously a lot of people like it because they keep cranking out the sequels. So, which I really need to get caught up on. So Silent Hill 2 is definitely one of the biggest, one of the more popular chapters and one of the more fondly remembered, I think. I know Silent Hill 4, The Room, was not very fondly looked upon, mainly because it wasn't even a Silent Hill game originally. They just kind of made it a Silent Hill game at the 0 hour to cash in on it. I don't know what the story there was, but anyway. Silent Hill 2 is great. If you've seen the movie and you remember the character Pyramid Head, this is where Pyramid Head originally came from. This is the first appearance of Pyramid Head, and definitely one of the scariest adversaries ever in the history of video games. Now, those of you who watched my first impressions video will recall I mentioned this one. Siren! This is the original Siren. Now, there is a new one out on the PS3 called Siren Blood Curse, which apparently is basically a remake of this. Now, Siren I have not played all the way through, but one of these days I will. Oh, what do we got here? Got some kind of ad. Now, the thing that got me about Siren, maybe I just need to spend a little bit more time with it, is I found the control scheme incredibly awkward. Incredibly awkward. And, awkward controls can really make or break a game. So, but the thing is, I really liked the look of it, and I liked the atmosphere of it, and it seems like it's got a pretty cool story and everything, so this is one that I'd definitely like to tackle again. I think I just need to sit down and actually spend a little more time with the controls, because this is not a typical third-person action game. It almost plays like a graphic adventure, but where events are occurring in real time. So, you have to click things to activate them and then click to use them and stuff like that. It's not like you can just move and do stuff at the click of a button. You actually have to, point and click around to make certain things, make your character do certain things. So it's a little bit awkward and definitely takes some getting used to. And I think that's one of the reasons they remade it, was because a lot of people found the control scheme awkward, and that kind of took them out of the experience, which is unfortunate because there really is some creepy atmosphere and stuff in here. Actually, let's turn this that way so it's not sticking out. There we go. There is some really creepy atmosphere in here and some just gorgeous graphics and a really cool horror experience within, but there is a learning curve with the controls. So one of these days I'll get back to it. Bloodrayne. Hot vampire chick killing Nazis. How can you go wrong? Good old Bloodrayne. Yes, I do have the first movie. Good old Yuva Bull messing up yet another what should be pretty easy to do as a movie. I liked Kristanna Loken as Bloodrayne, though. She was bloody hot as hell. Yeah, don't judge the games by the movie if you've seen the movie and hate it. The games are actually a lot of fun. I've played through this one a couple of times. I actually really enjoy it a lot. On a personal note, this is the first video game I ever played where I actually heard the F word. Now, I'd heard the S word, shit, quite a bit, but I had not heard the F word in a game up until this point. And I was like really thrilled to hear that. I was like, yes, finally! They're not being pussies anymore, and they're just allowing full-blown swearing. I mean, why not? We've had the M rating since the mid-90s. So let's just push it to the next degree and let people say fuck. Come on. So yeah, Bloodrayne's a lot of fun. The controls, there's a bit of a learning curve with the controls, but the whole first level is basically a massive tutorial that kind of sets the story in motion, and it's great stuff. So I like it. I've not played the second one. I really need to get the second one because I love the first one. Now this one I probably should have included in my games based on movies one, but for some reason I didn't because I like to keep it in the horror section. A video game based on one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies of all time, The Thing. Oh, what a great movie. So I was really looking forward to playing this one. I've attempted to play it twice, and I've never managed to finish it. I always get stuck. Now the thing about The Thing is ammo is really scarce, and you really got to manage your resources or you can get stuck irreversibly. So The Thing is actually it's actually put together as a sequel to the movie, and you will actually see a lot of references to events and locations and such from the movie throughout the game, which if you're a fan of the movie is, a lot of fun to find out. The only problem I had with it is certain aspects of it are a little bit inconsistent and kind of cheap. Like, for example, you manage a party of several characters, and one of the things you can do is give them blood tests to see if they're infected or not. And if you know the movie at all, basically, if you're infected by the Thing essentially becomes you and hides in plain sight as a duplicate of you. And you, of course, die in the process. So what appears to be you actually isn't you. It's a thing pretending to be you. So anyway, one way to tell if someone is a thing or a human is to give them a blood test and test the blood. So in the game, you can give members of your party blood tests, but and sometimes it'll show that they're not infected, they're fine, and then like 5 minutes later they'll suddenly turn into a thing and try to kill you. So yeah, the blood tests seem to be kind of useless. The other thing I found actually pretty cool about this, in addition, it's just a great third-person actioner with a lot of ties to the movie. Like the first few sections are tied pretty close to the movie, and then it kind of goes off in a new direction and expands on the existing mythology. Let me just check my time here. Okay, real quick, wrapping it up. One of the cool aspects of it is you have to manage the fear level of your teammates. If your characters begin to get too scared, they become useless, essentially. And sometimes if they get so scared, like to a certain point, they'll actually pull out their guns and kill themselves. So you have to be careful you don't drive your teammates to blow their own heads off. So, The Thing. If you're a fan of the movie, I definitely recommend checking this out, because it's a real treat. It's a real treat for fans of the movie. So there you go, my horror game collection. There's still a lot I want to get. Obviously, I want to get the rest of the Silent Hill games. I want to get Bloodrayne 2. I used to have the original Fatal Frame, which was awesome. Loved that game. Killing ghosts with the power of your camera. Yeah, great stuff. Really want to get that again, and all the sequels. Yeah, I've played a lot of horror games, just don't own a lot currently, so this is it at the moment. But stay tuned. Hopefully I'll get some more in the weeks, months, and years ahead. Alright, that's it from me to you for now, so until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.